Right now, there is a massive search for evidence at the home of suspected serial killer Rex Heuermann in Long Island. This morning, we are awaiting a press conference from police, an update from investigators. We have now learned that they will address the media at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 11:30 Central. We'll bring that to you live when it happens. We don't know specifically what they plan to share this morning, but we'll be following that closely because the search continues at Rex Heuermann's home. Even right now, you can see a new helicopter video showing that yellow backhoe in the backyard. It has been there since Sunday, and investigators in Suffolk County, New York, are hard at work today. They're digging for clues in this massive murder investigation. One theory that is floating around is, did Heuermann, a married father of two, an architect who worked in Manhattan, kill any of the alleged victims inside his house? Police still cannot say definitively. He is charged in the murders of three women found along Gilgo Beach in December 2010, and he is the prime suspect in the death of a fourth woman. Heuermann is being held in the Riverhead Correctional Facility. It's a medium maximum security jail. It holds inmates who are awaiting trial and also those who are serving time. Thomas Hargrove joining us now. He's the founder and chairman of the Murder Accountability Project, and he was featured in the docuseries The Killing Season on the Gilgo Beach murders. I appreciate you being with us this morning. We don't know what police and investigators plan to share with us in the coming hours about their investigation into this case. One can expect it might have to do with a fourth murder charge, the other victim in this case, which he hasn't been charged yet. What are you hearing from your sources? Anything that you that's piquing your interest at this point?
No, I have no particular insight on police. The Murder Accountability Project has had several conversations over the years with Long Island police. The only wisdom we could give them, all we are nerds, and we gather FBI data on homicides. And what we were assuring authorities on Long Island is that 10 or 11 is not the right number, that there seemed to be a much, much larger pool of unsolved murders of women who appeared to have been recovered out of doors and whose exact cause of death was difficult to determine. If you look at the last 40 years or so of data in the supplemental homicide report, you'll see that there are actually 51 unsolved murders of women for whom the coroner was not easily able to determine a cause of death. That is pretty much the pattern we've seen with the 10 recovered bodies at Gilgo Beach. We have had, as I said, conversations with authorities to tell them that we're pretty sure the pattern is much larger, and they've told us they agree and they're aware of that.
So talk about some of the similarities, Thomas. If they could not determine a cause of death, what other things stand out to you that are the same in some of these potential murders? Is it location? What else triggers a second look?
There's not a lot of information. When you're working with FBI data, it's a minimal information puzzle. But one of the patterns that is signaling a red alert is the size of the pool. That 51 unsolved murders of women, including all 10 from Gilgo Beach, is a red alert that something is going on. Usually when a woman is murdered, the odds are about 75% that the murder is going to be cleared, because unlike men, women, when they're murdered, are usually killed by intimates, a husband, a boyfriend. The clearance rate for women is much higher than the clearance rate for men, but not on Long Island for cases that were recovered out of doors or appear to have been recovered out of doors. We think that police should actively review the possibility that there are more than just the Gilgo Beach murders involved. I don't know if Mr. Heuermann is the guy, but I'm glad an arrest has been made. It was very good work by cooperative efforts between the FBI and local police. They finally got it right, and they did amazing work. We're hoping whoever is eventually convicted will allocute to all of his crimes, because we think that the pattern is much, much larger than we currently know.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.